Welcome to Irish Outlaw Garage. Last video we were tearing down the front end of that Javelin's 304 and found that they are really good at their RTV, whoever did it last, because wow. But it was leaking everywhere. It's bad. And I do have the heat on because it's kind of chilly. I don't know. It's Illinois, so right now we're in that not so much springtime, but almost springtime. But then you get the next winter, so it's about in that area, I think. So I was going to be buying a new timing cover for this motor, but thanks to everything that's going on, my budget got cut almost in half. I'm an over-the-road, not really over-the-road, but owner-operator trucker, and I pay for my own fuel, and my daily fuel jumped $200 a day. Well, timing cover is about $150, $165. That just ain't gonna fly. Ain't gonna fly. Is what it is. I'm not gonna get all political, but you get it. So anyway, we got this timing cover that was on here. I'm gonna start this video and kind of clean this thing up, rebuild that oil pump. I've got all that, but this thing has really got to take a deep cleaning. I am going to use one of these. Now, granted, you know, guys, you really shouldn't use that on these aluminum parts unless you've really experienced at them, because you will make areas that are not level and it's just going to get worse. And I'm thinking, by looking at this, that may be what happened to this. So I'm going to use it and, you know, hope for the best for now. And if it don't work, then, well, you know, I wasted my time, but at the same time, I really don't have the cash to put into this piece right now. Can't wait for Power Tour. About 12 mile a gallon, and it's going to make, for us, it's damn near 2,000 mile trip at 12 mile a gallon. So we're doing it though. We're definitely doing it. So anyway, I'll show you this thing. It's nasty, but you can see that right there is the perfect example of how not to do it. Look at this. This was all the way around this thing. Like, this is me. I didn't even, this is the oil, the fuel pump, and I didn't use anything on it but a little of my shellac, that brown bottle Indian head stuff. You know, I use that a lot, but this was completely covered in this stuff. The gasket was like concrete, and the timing chain and gears were so bad that chain kind of got my cover here. It didn't break it or nothing, so I can just grind that off and it should be just fine. But look how much oil is on this oil pump. It was just coming right down this and all over that. The oil pump itself was not leaking. This was just spewing oil out. I mean, it was slinging it out. So yeah, so I'm gonna start cleaning this up. I may time lapse some of this if I can figure out how to do it. But because if I'm doing this with that gun, my air, you know, my compressor's going to be all crazy. So, you know, I ain't got too much time. I'm really not sure why my card that I just bought barely has any time left on it. No idea. But anyway, I'm gonna get to cleaning on this. So let's get to it. I figure first thing we need to do is get this oil pump out before we start cleaning on anything. Yeah. Well, my tools are still in here because they're all dirty and I got too busy and I just couldn't clean them up, put them away. So let's see what we got here. Neatly piled up everywhere. Uh-oh. Oh, grab it all on. There we go. Use my battery. See what happens, huh? Oh. Get you in here. That, as I said, this oil pump was not leaking. This seal was completely dry. There ain't a lot of groove on that, so I mean, this one was running well. It had good oil pressure and there was no leaks anywhere on that seal at all. So need to do is pull gear out. Here's A number 1. And here comes A number 2. These are external. You can actually change these right there in the, one-handed. You can change these while they're still in the car, which is awesome. But just see what we got here. That. Hold on a minute. Alright. Try to get this thing cleaned down so I can get a better look at it. Looks like we got maybe some pitting in there. Ooh. There's some scarring, but nothing looks damaged, or there ain't like no metal in there. It might have just been from the initial go whenever it was new, I guess. Out. There. She's pretty clean. Of course, I changed that oil. No, I'd say we're good as far as the housing goes for this. Not bad at all. It's kind of normal. No real wear. I mean, there's some scarring on these gears, but these things are pretty resilient. I don't think that would have made much of a difference, but yeah. I don't mess around with oil pumps either. I usually use melling or something like that, and that's what I got for this one. Fun fact. Clean this all up. Looks pretty good. I'm still going to run this through the parts washer. fairly level. I ran a level across it. I just ran my old across it. You gotta be real careful with that. If you haven't ever done it, it's aluminum and you will warp this thing. You'll cut holes in it. I'll give you an example. This little notch that I said was in here where the timing chain was in, I just took the thing that I was cleaning and went and it just knocked it right off like it was nothing. But the fun fact is no matter what, on 304 or any AMC engine, unlike everybody else, this comes out from the inside. That means it presses in this way, like that right there. And that's one of the old things that always got me on my Jeeps, so I knew how to take these off. It's like, man, if this thing starts leaking, you gotta take the whole thing off. That's why I said, I don't know why I did not order the timing chain, because I knew that it was gonna be bad, or worn. And I usually always did on AMC engines, and this time I thought, you know what? After I saw that chrome oil pan, I was like, maybe this thing don't have that many miles on it. Wrong. So yeah, it was bad too. It's crusty. I mean, it's hard. So it really makes me just want to jump in that motor, but I don't have that kind of time, and obviously that kind of money right now. Don't know why. So anyway, I think I'm gonna put this in the old parts washer, and you know what? Almost could have saved me some more money right there, because this thing's there's no scoring, nothing at all. I could have just probably reused this, because it worked good. I mean, these things rarely go out. Oil pumps like this, they hardly ever go out. And the housing looks good, everything looks good. I probably could, but no, I want to put a new one in it. We're gonna put a new one in it. There's a little bit of a score there. Oh. Pretty simple, really. I mean, it's just get this up here. See here, you got your main shaft, and this is what goes up and it runs off of your distributor. Comes down through here, hooks to here. That one sits there, and then you got your secondary gear right here. While that's turning, it's throwing oil through the journals, through your, pretty sure it goes through here. I can't remember right, I'd have to look at it again, but it goes through your oil, your oil filter, which sits here, and then comes back out into the motor through the pump here. So, I mean, it's a fairly simple concept, and it's worked for years. I love these oil pumps. I wish a lot more people had them like this. I wouldn't have to dig. I got a Bronco out there that's got low oil pressure. All I need to do is probably put an oil pump in it. The thing runs fantastic. I really don't want to pull the pan off. So, yeah, that gasket was not leaking. This thing, my guess is this has been changed before. And there is a little bit of a grab in there now that I'm feeling it. That could also be because I wiped it off, it's dry. But housing looks good. Still getting oil out of it. Well, I'm making a mess right here on my table. Anyway, I'm gonna get this thing back apart. Here's your oil pump. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a groove on it. Maybe it is bad. Hopefully, this ain't the groove. I may have to do a little. I don't want to do that because that's not good. Everything looks good on it. I think I just need to put her in the parts washer and let her soak in the diesel a little bit, and then I'll get the scrapers and screwdrivers and the drill with the brush, and we'll get her cleaned up. The plan is I want to at least paint it some kind of color. I don't have any AMC blue, but I got Ford blue. Whatever. As long as she ain't bare, right? Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go dunk this in the diesel. Now I did get one of my things that I ordered, and it came really quick. Ordered it off eBay. Inline tube has always done me good, but yeah. Transmission lines, pre-bent, pre-cut, ready to roll. So this will be awesome because there was a rubber line in there. I don't know if you saw it in the last video. There's a rubber line in there. That's something big. It was leaking. Leaking. So this ought to take care of that problem. Nice, good bends. I got a radiator that's supposed to be here today, but it's typical. But yeah, I got that stuff soaking. Be out here a little bit. Have me a couple barley waters. Just kind of sit here. Wait. At least it ain't like freezing cold, you know. That's next week, right? Yeah. So yeah, it cleaned up pretty good, actually. I got a parts washer over there. If you watch some of my other videos, like the one I did on Artemis, our ambulance, I've got a parts washer. Just one of them, you know, Harbor Freight, whatever jobs that Amber got me for a birthday, I believe, or Christmas, and I just never put it up. Once I started doing this, I thought, well, I better set it up. So, you know, I use diesel. A lot of people don't. Each their own. But here's your pump housing. It's all nice and clean. Turned out pretty good. And then timing cover. It turned out nice and clean. I don't see any damage. I don't see line. At least close up. I don't see anything that would make me think that this thing would not seal up if it's done right. Which, guys, whenever you're doing seals, I don't know if I got one. Let's use this one for an example here. Yeah, it's an old oil seal. But whenever you want to do RTV, if you're not making a gasket out of it, like you would on a China wall for an intake or something like that, let the gasket do its job. You just got to get a little bit on your fingers and smear that RTV. I usually use black because it, you know, repels oil. A lot of people use blue for water pump, this, that, and the other. I just use black. But yeah, just get it on there and smear it around. You don't have to, you know, mud will come in something like this. You just get on your fingers and just put it around there. And then on this case, you would set it on the block first, and then this goes on it because it has the little dowel pegs that, you know, the guides. So just remember that. Now I got this thing all clean. There ain't really much more I can do tonight. My timing chain, according to O'Reilly's, being in the morning, and that's going to be part of my priority. I have to get ready for a birthday party for Aiden, turned 16. So we got a bunch of people coming over, so I'm gonna have to clean up a little bit. So next time you probably see me, it'll be the next day. But at least I took the time to get this cleaned up tonight. That way I don't have to worry about it. And I'll spray it down, brake clean again, blow it out, get that oil pump back together. Remember what the torque specs are on the check spring and all that. I gotta find all that. Anyway, you guys, see you tomorrow. Hello, it's the next day. Got a little mix up. I'm running a little late because I thought maybe I was going to pick up the car, but that didn't happen. Not today, anyway. First things first, I got all these cleaned up. Timing covers cleaned up. Oil pump housings cleaned up. But that ain't it. That ain't it. On these, there's steps you have to take to make sure your clearances and, you know, make sure everything is flat. And since we're putting a new oil pan, or excuse me, we're putting a new oil pump assembly in the housing, we have to make sure that this is planed perfectly flat, and then this is planed perfectly flat because you can see the swirl marks in it. It's just how it is. Don't know if you can see that. It does that. That's just normal from, you know, bouncing against this. But we need to flatten this out. We need to get rid of that old wear. Believe it or not, it ain't too bad. So there's a couple things we have to do here. We have to use some rubbing compound, basically valve grinding compound, same stuff I use to lap my valves, and you need a torque wrench because you got to torque these down to 7 pounds if you can. Sometimes it's inch pounds, but 7 pounds will work. And then we're gonna put the new gasket and new gears associated with this. We're gonna put them in there, and then we're gonna put plastic gauge on it, and we're gonna plastic gauge the clearance between here and the gears. It can only be no less than 2.6 or somewhere 2.56. I have to look it up again, but got my plastic gauge, which I normally don't use a lot of, and we have to plane this and we have to plane that. And how we do that, you got to find you something that's a flat surface. This is an old mirror. Probably best if it's on the table, but the table's plastic too, so it don't matter. We'll get it. But I haven't done this for a long time, actually. What you do is you just put it all in your spots where you want it, and just like that. I'm probably going to need a lot more than that. Then we'll put a little bit right here. That'll do it. Then you want to place this flat and just press firm. Just rotate it around. It's firm enough to where it's, you know, you can feel it grinding. And just like valves, you can feel when it's just worn down. Usually about the time it gets worn down and just broke down completely, it's almost good enough. Hopefully this one ain't too bad. Hopefully. Because I really don't want to have to buy a new one. Keep moving around. I can feel that it's starting to get, you know, the grit is going away. And a little bit of friction and heat that helps. So maybe a little faster. I can feel that's pretty, it's getting a lot smoother. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, that's a whole lot in there. One of them's starting to go, but yeah, boy, those are deep. Yep, we keep going. You can't have a machinist do this too. Let's see. This gear is to where the surfaces around the flat area, that's the main part. You just want it to be good and flat. You don't necessarily have to get those grooves out of there. But I can feel it. It's a lot flat, you know, it sits a lot nicer than it did. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that you can see. Clean that up a bit. Get me a new. Well, this thing was warped pretty good, actually. you can see where it's out here is where it's hitting it. It's not even hitting this yet. Oh boy. Well, I don't know. I mean, all I can do is keep going on it and hopefully run a clearance on it, and it's good. So I'm gonna work a little bit more on this and we'll step back whenever I get done. So, well, as much as I would love this to be completely flat where the grooves aren't in this, the contact points are. Everything around here is all flat. It's just this, and it don't seem to want. So what I'm basically gonna have to do, and I already did the timing cover too, that's basically just to make a flat surface for this to mate to. But you can see it in there. You can see the grooves, I think, on the camera. And you know, you look at 50 different things on Google and you get 50 different answers times 10. So I have put them together like this before and I've never had any trouble, as long as the mating surface, my concern is not that. The mating surface is going to be perfect. My concern is the clearance of the new pump gears with the gasket up against there. That is where that's the concern. And this was not leaking. So I'm thinking it was good, but anyway, but we're gonna, you know, pretty much now I'm gonna do is clean this up, and I've got, I gotta get the spring and the new plunger that goes down in here, and that's what controls your oil pressure and your block off for, if you start it and there ain't enough oil going through here, it'll just shoot through there and, you know, won't go through the filter. But the mating surfaces are good. It's just right here, it's still kind of worn. You can see that in there. Motor's got miles on it and grooves are gonna be obvious. So I think we'll just clean everything up and we'll check for clearances and we'll go from there. This did clean up nice. I mean, like I said, it's just that this area, you're just cleaning it up for a gasket, as long as but our main concern is a clearance. And when these go in here, your other gear, I don't know what I did with it, right there, you get these gears in there, and there is a timing. I didn't do it. I guess I could. I don't feel like an idiot, you know. So we'll do the timing, blah. The mating surfaces should be good with the gasket torqued down. We're going to test the clearance from here, right here, to this. And hopefully it's in spec. If it's in spec anywhere, nothing below 2.56, or I have to look it up again, but we're good, and nothing over, I think it was 5 thousandths or 6 thousandths. That might be wrong. I don't know. I'll look it up before I do it. But anyway, time to get the new pump out, and I'll clean these up a little better and get in there and do some plastic gauging. All right, man. That's all I can do. I don't want to have to order new stuff. So let's go from here. So here's the thing, y'all. My battery went dead on that camera, and I thought I was talking to y'all, and it turned out I was talking to myself. It's like old times. Basically what happened was I plastic gauged the connection on the gears. Where's the old gear? Take an old gear, catch you a little piece of plastic gauge, and you're setting her across this right here, you know, just on both gears, and torque her down to spec ish, and then you pop it off and it'll tell you. And I was way within specs. It was good. It was real good, actually. It was right where it needed to be. I think it's 0.05 to 0.00, or 0.005 to 0.0025. That's layman's terms, and it was perfect. It was damn near right on the money. So we're gonna go with it, and nice thing is, if it ain't wrong, I'll just buy a new thing and we'll start over. I mean, everything comes off right outside the car, so we'll test it, see how it does. This is just the cheap way. Actually, I really don't like doing cheap on oil pump, but since it's outside the car, we'll try it. Also, I had to reset and put in the new plunger for your pressure regulator / bypass, and it was a little gummy in there. It took a while, a little WD-40 and some brake clean, and put the new one in and make it come out, and I got it to where she'll just fly right out. Well, then to coat everything, because you're supposed to fill it full of petroleum jelly, but I don't want all that crap in the motor for any reason. So what I do is I dip the stem here in STP. It's got zinc in it, it's got everything else. I don't know what happened to the label, but dip it in there and it goes up in. I take the other gear and I put some STP right there on the other side of here. If you saw it, there's a place sticking out where the gear goes on right there, up in here, and I put STP on it and slid it down. It slid down perfectly, and then I just take my STP and, you know, slop her down in there between the gears. And yeah, you're gonna make a mess. It's gonna run out all your journals and stuff, but don't matter. Get it in there. It's coated. And then I put the gasket on, make sure the surface is dried. Do not, for any reason, ever use RTV on this gasket, because you gotta remember, it's all about clearances for your oil pressure on these. Use the gasket. If this gasket ain't, you know, what it needs, they make other ones. It basically works like a shim. So I got that on there, got her torqued on, got my pressure regulator in there, she's torqued on, and everything looks good. She's all together. Like I said, if you need to learn how to do the plastic gauge better, there's tons on there. It's very simple. Matter of fact, it's a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. A lot of people skip it. I always have my machine shop micrometer everything to where it's never let me down. But I do use it on occasion, especially if I'm just, you know, cleaning up a crankshaft or whatever to check for bearing clearance. But it's good. This is a good place to use it no matter what. And you can use, you know, a bore gauge or dial gauge, and nah, just use a plastic gauge. It's simple. And I got it all torqued back down, and it don't even look like it ever went anywhere. So all we can do is hope for the best. So now I got to get out there and clean that front of that motor off, make sure it's good and clean, and then we got to get the gasket on it, and then we got to get this on it after the chain and all that stuff. So got my chain, and we'll just go from there. Okay. Okay. Ow, hit my head. There's my new timing chain. I did get this all cleaned up. It cleaned up pretty good. I got to wipe it down yet, but I should be able to just get these timing chains on. I got her already set up to be perfectly marked, and we'll get this new timing chain on there, and then we'll just start reassembly. And hopefully that's all the oil leaks, and we have everything except for that transmission line. That's awful, but this should be it. I'm not going for pretty here. I'm going for, you know, reliability. So I don't know, we'll get this timing chain on, see what happens. Okay, so the wind's picking up. Looks like it's about to rain. That's fine. So got everything cleaned up, got the timing chain in here, and I'm not real thrilled at all. They say it's a 1/2 inch slop on either side, at top dead, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and that don't seem any better than what it was, so I'm gonna go with it. But my guess is this motor's starting to wear down.
Maybe that's the way it is. I don't remember them ever being that loose when I put new timing chains on AMCs, but we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to get this thing ready to put the timing cover back on it. I got to, you know, put the seal, the front seal has to go on the inside. I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'm going to take the gasket that goes around there, and I'm going to, you know, put just a little bit of RTV, a little. You don't like goop it on there. All you need is a little bit. You need that gasket to seat, you know, to seat. So, and I'm trying to hurry because it's going to rain. I'm out of breath because I'm trying to run around, but I don't want to hurry too much because that's when you screw up. So anyway, back to it. So here's the dilemma. These timing cover gaskets sets are made basically to drop the pan just enough to where you can slide gaskets underneath it. Now, I got underneath there and I inspected that gasket for that oil pan, and I know that if I loosen that thing, it's gonna just implode on itself, and then I'm gonna have a mess, and I'm gonna have to lift this motor up as high as I can get it to get this thing out. So just by the way the timing chain feels and stuff like that, I know that this motor is gonna have to come out. It's tired, but it's not so tired that it doesn't run well. I just think that it's soon here, it's gonna need it was neglected, and it's gonna need an overhaul or a freshening up. I'm not gonna, even if I do that, I'm not gonna build it up any. It's just a driver, you know. But I know that if I try to pull that pan off, I'm gonna have to find a way to get that thing completely out. And that ain't happening. So what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna cut those pieces for that oil pan that fit against the block and against the oil pan. It's supposed to go underneath the block. It goes right here. You're supposed to take this down all the way back, and it looks like somebody had tried to at one time, but it is brittle, and the pan's not leaking back there, so I don't want to risk that, because then I'm gonna have to take the damn pan off. I mean, I could get a one-piece pan gasket, I guess they make them, but I think for now, just for now, I'm gonna cut them to fit, and I'll just goop the hell out of them. Well, not goop the hell out of them, just enough, you know, to stick. I'm gonna clean that up, dry it up, and then I'll put it in there and hope and pray that that'll hold for just long enough, because if I have to pull that pan, this is gonna be I forgot all about that. Totally forgot all about that with these. I really don't want to drop that pan, but it may come down to where I got no choice. So I don't want to go sticking this thing together, so I'm going to have to think on this just a minute. Hopefully I'll be back with better news. Well, I opted for the nuclear option. I'm going to try it. I know I've done it before, but I got that good and clean, and I'm going to dry it off a little better, and I don't know. I went ahead and called O'Reilly's and ordered me up an oil pan gasket. Of course, they didn't have the one piece. They got the, you know, the 3-piece, but okay. Let me see if I can't get this thing together, and we'll hope for the best. Don't follow me. Whew. I hope this works. So I've pieced and parted things back to where they're supposed to be, almost. It's been an irritating day because I had bought another car, and the guy messed around. I wasted half my day trying to get ready to do that, and now it's going to storm, so I could only get so far. So anyway, here's what we got. I got all this back together. The nuclear option probably will not work because I'm gonna have to probably change the whole pan, and that's fine. I can do it. I just don't want to. I got everything back where it's supposed to go except the alternator I'm waiting on. There's a bracket down here that I need to fix too. got this on, the damper, or your, you know, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But it looks like everything went together pretty good. Now I just got to get things ready to finish, and it's getting ready to storm like heck, so ain't gonna happen tonight. So hopefully I get this done. I don't know, it's just been one of them days, guys, one of them days. So take care of yourself. I'll get back to it soon. Hey, good morning. Got as far as I could last night with it before it started raining, and then, you know, took off. But I got a little bit more done this morning. I don't have a lot of time. I got birthday parties and you name it. I got it all today. Waiting on parts. Redoing the entire cooling system, and guess what I forgot? Hoses. So, and of course nobody has the molded hose for these anywhere. Everything's special orders, so we're going with the bendies. They're strong, they'll last, they'll be fun. They did have the bypass hose, which is unbelievable. I guess there's a million CJ7s and CJ5s everywhere. I don't know why they wouldn't have the hoses, because it's exactly the same. Whatever. They're here. Be here this afternoon. Got a few things done. Got this is all set and done. This is all set and done. Got the water pump in. I still got to put my distributor in there. Got everything in it. That damn harmonic balancer, damper, and everything was a bear, but it's on. You got your belt pulleys and new alternator. I got to, you know, get my belts on and tighten, but that's no big deal. Just waiting on them hoses so I can get this bad boy in there. Then, you know, before I do anything, I got to put my transmission lines that I got, so I may jack it up and get it ready for that, I guess. Starting to cool down. Not happy about that at all. But it is what it is. Try to get as much done as I can. And then, you know, back to work at $4.55 million pennies a gallon. Anywho, keep going. Okay, so it's been real hard to film anything of late because I'm trying to get ready for a birthday party and other stuff, and I'm waiting on parts, and I had to get some stuff moved around, some parking, because, you know, I got a million cars. But this is how far I've gotten. And I didn't really show any of this. I had a lot of trouble getting the belts to line up because, you know, the redneck engineering that was whoever put this together used washer here, broken bracket there, and I've got it close, but it's still not right. The idea is I got to get, you know, transmission lines on it yet before I can even start it or move it, and I'm waiting on the new hoses and all that. It's not a big deal. I'm probably gonna have to wait till the middle of the week before I can do that, but she's pretty much complete back together. I got the radiator in, fan. Still need to find me an electric fan to put on the front because I really want this thing to cool down. So anyway, here's what she looks like. We got her all in there. As they said, I gotta replace this bypass hose and this and all that. That's coming. But I did get the distributor back down in there. I think I might just leave this one in here because I'm gonna get a longer belt. And this has got plenty of room. So if I get this out further, that'll bring that around. Anyway, I got the new alternator in it. I don't have it hooked up yet because I'm actually reviewing a bunch of stuff on Google and different forums about what wire goes where. And I want to make sure I get that hooked up perfectly and everything works, and then I'm going to tackle this stuff. This is actually to the air conditioner. This is the air conditioner relay, and I'm going to get a new one, something that I can, you know, put on the wall so it ain't just, I mean, come on. I got to replace all this crap, all of it. New lines. I got a long way to go, but you know, all I got to do really up here is just put the spark plug wires back on and but everything went in. That radiator went in good solid fit. The only thing I had to use some self tappers to put the shroud on, but no big deal. I actually thought I did buy a fan clutch for this, but of course this is a non-fan clutch fan, but they do make them. I can get this size in a Summit that's got a lot more, and then I can use the fan clutch, and that'll get this thing up in here. That way it's really dragging, you know, and gets it away from the motor. I might do that yet, I don't know. But I found a few things. I had to redo this like 3 different times to get that sucker to right, and they ain't tight yet. I just kind of put them so I could see the line of them, you know, and they're about as close as I'm going to get them without getting in here and doing some shims and stuff like that, but it'll work. On the other sides of this is it was impossible to put that radiator in there without, you know, denting up the fins, but whatever, still better than what was in it. But other than that, that's where this one's gonna stop for today, because I got a birthday party for Aiden, and that's the end of that. I do know that I need to get my BB gun out because I have a bird problem. Yeah, that angers me. And that the winter wasn't kind to this. That's probably gonna pop off at some point. I might just pop it off myself and put some filler in it just to get us to the show. But while I had time, yeah, Amber gets her cover back. While I had time, so truck, Amber asked if this thing ran, and I said, yeah, it just needs a battery, you know, needs the battery done to get her charged up. But you know, I'll bet she fires right off. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, when I first started it, it had, like it would idle for a while and it would bog. And I took the air cleaner off, and sure as heck, it was just dumping fuel down in there. So, got out the carburetor tuner, knocked around on them needles and seats a little bit, keep right back to normal, starts right up. This one, I need to replace the power steering pump has been leaking since I got it, and I need a new bottom pulley on there. This needs to be secured just a little better. I don't like how it sits, but other than that, this thing's all good up here. Does need floorboard on this side, and then I need to get into that rear end and check it. But yeah, this is boogie boogie. And she's gonna get some new front tires this week, because Amber likes driving this car. It's got a little bit of dry rot on them. The back ones didn't buy it, boy, them things, they don't wear at all. They don't smoke either. I'm like burning this thing off. But well, she's dirty. She runs and drives. But this one right here, I've got about 4 or 5 days to make up my mind. And my problem is I don't want to do it alone, but I think that this car here, Oogie, is getting a roll cage. I am going to keep him get naturally aspirated. It's already built rear end, built, you know, it's got ladder bars, it's got everything there. Just have to maybe redo some shocks, or maybe some QA1 stuff, something like that. Redo the front end, but I need to get in that rear end and check the clearances and stuff. It just feels tight, but that's a bad little rear end. It's a posi track, got everything in it. The only thing wrong with this car is the paint's coming off, but it's old. It's an old show car. But nah, I think that here in about 4 or 5 days, the admissions and registration for drag week is up. I think I'm gonna try my hand at getting in it, and I'll just find me somebody that wants to ride along and have a good time for a day and listen to me cuss and gripe and bitch about a Chevy. Well, why not? You know, it needs a new life. So we're gonna give her a life other than Amber driving around and, you know, me getting messages from people saying, hey, your old lady's up here just tearing it up. Left about a quarter-mile patch. Nobody would ever take a video or let me know if that's true or not. So anyway, that's Oogie Boogie, and while I'm doing the Javelin thing, waiting on parts and stuff, I thought I'd get him running and it running, and runs good. Need a little carburetor adjustment, and yeah, that's that. Anyway, I gotta get to the birthday party. I will finish that Javelin. It needs to get done. I'm tired of looking at it. So until then. So that's going to do it for this video. I've got a lot more small ones that'll be coming out because I just got home literally and it's dark. I wish I could throw it out quicker, but it's, you know, if it wasn't so cool out at night, I'd probably throw out more night. You know, I just throw up a bunch of lights and try to show as best content as I can. I did stop today. O'Reilly's was good enough to get me all my parts I needed. Unfortunately, nobody could seem to find the original equipment type hoses for this thing, unless you wanted to special order them, and that was like way out of budget. And either that or you can go to eBay and buy their cheap colored ones, but no. So this is what I got. Just you know, the universals that fit, and they actually had this. That surprised me. That's direct fit for AMC. And this is the bottom, this is the top. Got all my new clamps, and yes, that is a oil pan gasket. I'm gonna try it without it, but more than likely I ain't gonna be able to live with myself if I don't just change it and get it right. So, okay. Plenty of brake clean to clean off the mess. So, anyway, I appreciate O'Reilly's doing that for me. They get a lot of cool stuff for me, and they work really hard to find it. And they really only had one of them hoses, the lengths of what they needed. Other than that, I'm going to get on this thing this weekend again. I'm going to hit it hard and heavy. And then I still got the trunk of my Cutlass has got a tote full of precision suspension parts for Javelin. Javy's getting a whole new front suspension, and then I'm probably going to go ahead and tackle the rear one too. I've discussed maybe with Amber and the kids, we might be going over to that Cleats and Cars thing just to watch. It's in Indianapolis coming up. I don't remember the exact date, but if you get a chance, you need to go to something like that. That's just regular old folks having fun, a burnout contest, a bunch of the YouTubers. If you don't know what it is, I mean, it's a lot of the YouTuber mechanics and stuff like that. They all go there and they race in old police cars, and I've watched it, you know, on YouTube, and it looks hilarious and looks fun. And you know, then you got the burnout contest, which Zeppelin was like, you need to do the burnout contest. And I was like, no, I don't. I can't afford the tires right now. I don't think anybody can afford the tires, but oh, maybe I can get somebody to give me some tires. That'd be great. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. This is shot obviously a couple days after because I've been busy with work and it's been too late. And I try to spend as much time with, you know, with the fam as I can with what I'm doing right now. So, and everything's pretty tough with the fuel prices going through. There ain't even a roof no more, man. They're like beyond Pluto. I never seen anything like it. But I feel sorry for people that live off, you know, that really need it, because wow. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. I'll make another one here coming up real soon. I may do some night shots, but I may just wait till this weekend and I'll put out the content as I get it. You know, I'm not afraid to stay up till 2-3 in the morning to edit it, to get it out. Hopefully this turns around a little bit and we get back to doing construction. Then it's like a normal day, but not at this fuel cost, it ain't. You guys take care of yourself. Thanks for watching Irish Outlaw Garage. Please like and subscribe. Notification bell. All that stuff. Take care of yourself. Again, thank you to O'Reilly's for finding me everything. No, I am not sponsored by them, but they treat me very well, and I'm proud to say that. They should be proud of themselves. They do a good job for me there. Take care.
you.